We are in crisis, guys. We are in absolute shambles. We can't even beat a team like Nottingham Forest, that too at Stamford Bridge. 75% possession, 21 shots, 7 or 8 corners, but still we don't manage to score a goal. And you guys might be wondering, this sounds familiar. Yes, of course it sounds familiar. It's just the same Chelsea as last season. A lot of possession, a lot of chances created, but nobody comes out with the outcome. Nobody is scoring a goal. That's the problem. That's the problem we have been seeing from last season and this season as well. It still hasn't been addressed, guys. It is still the same Chelsea. A new manager, a lot of new players, but still nothing has changed. And how did we expect it to change, to be honest? Because we didn't get the right profile of players. We did the same thing that we did the last transfer window. We bought in tons of new players, and a lot of those players being young. We have got no experience in this team. This group of young players don't know how to break an experienced stubborn defense. They have no idea. If we got someone, an experienced attacker in that position, through experience, they know how to break down this type of teams. It's not just about running, it's not just about doing all that other stuff. You need experience, you need good ball knowledge when it comes to attack to break down this defense, and these young players at the moment don't have enough ball knowledge to break down defenses like that. We need to adapt, guys. I'll be honest, and fuck the project and all that stuff. We don't need to talk about the process because there is no process in the first place, guys. I'll get it, it's about the future. It will take time, but it will be process after process. We will get better and better little by little. We will take step by step, but we will get better in the process. But at the moment, there's no process at all. The process is about going to relegation. There is one process, and that is to relegation, guys. We are in the process of being relegated. Each and every game, we are doing worse and worse and worse. And the main guy to blame, it's not the players to blame, guys. The main guy to blame is Mauricio Pochettino, nobody else, because he is playing all these players out of position. Ben Chilwell, he's not a winger, he's one of the best left backs in the world, but he is being played as a winger, and now fans are completely after him. Fans are completely criticizing him, and it is not his problem because this guy doesn't play there. He is used to playing as a left wing back. That's how Ben Chilwell plays. He's good at overlapping and all that stuff, but he's not a winger. He can't dribble past players. He can't provide that extra bit of magic. He can't do that. And Mauricio Pochettino somehow decides to play with this kind of formation, completely different to what we have been seeing in preseason. And this is nothing more than a scam, guys. This is complete scam. They show us something during the preseason, during the transfer windows, and the complete opposite happens when the Premier League season starts. So if this is not a scam, what is a scam, guys? They're showing us something in the preseason, and during the actual games, it is something else. It is a scam, guys. I'll be honest, something was working. 4-2-3-1 was working during the preseason. Why don't we stick to it? The first game was acceptable to some extent because it was Liverpool. We didn't have the right profile of players, but now with these players, we have got all the players we wanted. Although we might have missed out on some really good players. We could have gone in there and bought someone like Victor Osimhen and all that stuff, but the players Mauricio Pochettino wanted, he got them. So now he has got the right players, for the job. Why isn't he utilizing those players? That's my problem. Ben Chilwell as a left back, 3 at the back. Axel Disasi can't do anything, guys. He's just a big guy. He will get bullied even physically, guys. I'll be honest, this guy is going to get bullied if he comes against Erling Haaland and all that stuff. This guy can't defend, this guy can't do anything. I'll be honest, I don't mean to disrespect these players, but it's time to be brutal, guys. We have to point out mistakes, and Enzo Fernandez is not a number 10, he's a number 8, guys. Play him in a double pivot with Moises Caicedo, give him a little more freedom, let him go a little forward, keep Moises Caicedo, to protect the backline, but don't play him close to the striker, don't play him as number 10, He's not a number 10, he can't assist, he can't score goals, We need someone as a 10. What do we need from a 10 is that we need someone who can stay close to Nicholas Jackson, because that will bring the best out of Nicholas Jackson, because this guy likes to link up, and most of the time, since the season started, we noticed that Nicholas Jackson has been isolated most of the time, He's looking for options centrally, but nobody is there in the central position. So we need a number 10 that can stay close to Nicholas Jackson, And Enzo Fernandez is not the guy. At least play Conor Gallagher ahead of Enzo Fernandez. I think that would be at least better. Or now Cole Palmer is there, play Cole Palmer as a number 10, let him stay close to Nicholas Jackson, And also Nicholas Jackson, while we at it, Nicholas Jackson, how the fuck did he miss that chance? I'll be honest, there is no defending that, And all the Chelsea fans out there watching, there is no defending these guys, No matter how hard you guys try to defend this, there is no space for defending these guys. He was so close to the goal, A good touch, just a simple touch would have put the ball in the back of the net, But still, he missed that chance, It goes over the bar, guys. What the fuck, How is this even any different from Kai Havertz, We have to be clinical, We expect that from the striker, And Nicholas Jackson is a striker, We know he got all the other things, like technicality, he can run, he can create and all that stuff. But as a striker, what is the expectation from a striker is that a striker has to score a goal. At Chelsea, a striker needs to come in and score a goal, and Nicholas Jackson at the moment is failing to do that. He can't score goals, and if he can't score goals, what's the point of having him as a striker, guys? And this is my humble request to Mauricio Pochettino. Please, for Christ's sake, don't taste the patience of Chelsea fans, guys. I'll be honest, do not taste the patience of Chelsea fans, because Chelsea fans aren't patient. Chelsea fans, if they don't get wins, they can be brutal. They can be the most shitty fans in the world. I'll be honest, I know this club. I've been watching Chelsea Football Club play football for a lot of years, I've been watching them for almost like 8-9 years, and I know how our fan base is. If we don't get fans, we are the shittiest fan in the world. We will go crazy. We will demand a sack. If these things doesn't change. And we are in the right to do so, because if you look at the fixtures in October, Brighton, Man City, Newcastle, Manchester United, blah blah blah, all those top clubs, back to back, we have got this type of fixtures in October, and now we need to get points, and it is against teams like this, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Luton and all that stuff, where we get the maximum points, because realistically speaking, we aren't as good as Brighton, we aren't even as good as Tottenham at the moment. Forget about Man City, Liverpool's and Arsenal's, I'd be okay if we lost to Man City, I'd be okay if we lost to Arsenal, I'd be even okay if we lose to Tottenham and Brighton, because at the moment they are playing very good football. So I'll be okay losing to teams like that, I'll get it, it's the process, we haven't got there at the moment, so it's okay, at least we should win against teams, that are playing in the bottom half of the table, the teams that are on the verge of being in the relegation battle, in the future, So at least we need to win against these weaker teams, and at the moment we can't even beat these type of teams. So how are we going to beat teams like Brighton, Tottenham and all that stuff, guys? We can't beat them, So this is more depressing, This is more depressing. The situation at the moment is more depressing than last season, because last season at some point we were expecting that to happen, guys. Last season, things were going that way, so we were at least expecting it, We were like, alright, one more match, looks like we're going to lose, So how much the goal is going to be, So that was the situation last season, but this season, when the season started, we were full of energy. We wanted to see the real Chelsea back, We were like, okay, we have new season, a lot of new guys in there, new coach, a coach that can develop players, through experience. We have seen him develop a good amount of players at Tottenham, so there are huge expectations, and the same thing is happening, and it's way more frustrating, guys. It's way more frustrating than last season. I'll be honest, and Mauricio Pochettino has to think about that, because like I said before, Chelsea fans don't have patience. Chelsea fans don't have patience at all. As much as we accept that this is for the future, this is for the process, we don't have patience, guys. A lot of Chelsea fans would have accepted if we had lost to, like I said before, Man City, Arsenal's, Tottenham's or Brighton's, We are quite there, but we need to beat teams like Nottingham Forest and all that stuff, guys. We need to beat them. We need to gather as many points from these teams as possible. October is going to be hell for Chelsea, and realistically speaking, we might not even win a game against these teams. from October, guys. I'll be honest, we might not win even a single game, Forget about a draw even. And Moises Caicedo, guys. Why the fuck are us Chelsea fans being soft towards Moises Caicedo? This guy clearly isn't doing what he's bought in for. Although I get, he's a new player, he needs time to adapt, he needs time to settle and all that stuff, I get it. But this guy's mistake is causing us badly, guys, Two mistakes that have directly led to goals, guys. We can't let that slide, I'll be honest, we can't let that slide, And the thing that he is brought in to do is being done by Conor Gallagher, but still Chelsea fans are after Conor Gallagher when he is by far one of the best players in this Chelsea squad, He's doing what Moises Caicedo was brought in to do, but still we are after Conor Gallagher and still soft towards Moises Caicedo. We can't be soft towards Moises Caicedo. This guy has a higher ceiling. This guy might be one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, but at the moment, this guy is nowhere to the Moises Caicedo that we saw at Brighton, We need to be brutal, guys, and it's time to keep our standards high, We can't let things like that slide, We can't go soft on those players, because clearly these players aren't doing well, 2 goals, any other mistake, okay, he might not be the Moises Caicedo that we saw at Brighton, he might show the glimpses of that, then we will accept it. But 2 mistakes, that directly leads to a goal, guys. 2 mistakes that directly leads to a goal. This is not acceptable. You can't let that slide, you can't defend that. So if you're going to criticize Conor Gallagher, if you're going to criticize Ben Chilwell, if you're going to criticize Mauricio Pochettino, then you might as well criticize this guy, Moises Caicedo, because this guy is not doing what he was brought in to do.